a great word. I've got nothing but love for all of my viewers. If you're watching it live or watching it on the replay, oh, live, that's an L word. Watching it live or watching it on the replay, we're switching times. We're going to start doing it at 5 o'clock on Wednesdays. So I hope that works for you to attend live. But if not, I do invite you to watch the replay because I get a lot of good comments about people watching the replay and they thoroughly enjoy it. And I don't think that you necessarily have to be here in order to, get all that you can out of, the ABCs of weight loss. So, yay. And some people are like, yay, I love the earlier time. They can cook dinner and watch at the same time. I know that I love to watch live streams and cook dinner myself. That is one of my favorite things to do. It kind of, passes the time, makes cooking dinner a little bit more enjoyable. So that is definitely something that is just like right up the alley for me. So love. Wow, let's talk about love for a minute because that's, it's a big word. Do you love your weight loss journey? That's a big question. That's something to journal about. Do you love your weight loss journey? Do you have a love-hate relationship with your weight loss journey? Do you sometimes love it? Do you sometimes hate it? It's very interesting. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. You're normally like it's your bedtime, so it's so excited to see you. Hello, hello to wellness. So, love. Okay. I would have to say that I guess I have a love-hate relationship. So there's a lot of things to love. I love trying out new foods. I love the results of a weight loss journey. I especially love that it has taught me so much about myself and who I am and how I deal with different stressors. It's taught me about the way that I eat, why I eat, all kinds of different things. So it's been, a huge like learning opportunity. So I find that there's so many things to love. I love the feeling better. I love that I can move around better. I love that there are just so many things to love about it. There's so many things. And then, the only thing that really, when I say that, I've got this like love-hate relationship with it, the only thing that, can kind of make me feel down about it sometimes is really just when the results aren't as fast as I want them to be, or, nope, I'm going to leave it at that. I think that is the only thing that I dislike about losing weight, being in the process of losing weight, is that, oh, wow, look at all those L words. Wow. She's just like, she's got the dictionary open or something. Leggings, laps, lunges, leisure, listen to your body, lasting results, labels, longevity, logging. Oh, good one. Life. Good ones. Excellent. We've got some excellent guesses for the letter L. Logging is a good one. It is a good one. Misty, I gave you a hint today on a word, and Camille and Mary all got lazy. Oh, ooh, that's a good word. Laziness. Oh, that's me. That's this girl right there. Lying to ourselves. Ooh, good guesses. Oh my gosh. We're going to come back to these words because these are excellent, excellent words. I love them so, so much. So very much. Nobody guessed the word that I want to talk about. So I think it's like my job to try and think about a word that might trump you. Like, oh, wow, I never thought of that word. So that's where I'm trying to go with some of the words that I bring up. So the word that I first want to talk about is luxuries. Luxuries. So the question that I want to kind of put out to you, and I would like for you to put some answers in the comments in the chat. What are some luxuries that we maybe take for granted when it comes to weight loss, to trying to lose weight, to the process in general, into luxuries? What luxuries do we have that maybe we might be taking for granted? Didn't pick up on my hand. Probably thinking, why'd she type that? Oh my God. So I'm going to chat with some friends, and then, I just threw in the word luxury there. Somebody else said it. So I was like, yeah, luxury. And so it was a hint. Luxury. What luxuries do we have that we might be taking for granted? That is a luxury, and you did not take it for granted, my dear. You were like, I'm going to do this because that's going to be the best move for me. And that was the greatest thing that you could do for yourself. So you definitely took care of that luxury of being able to, take a month whenever you, and that's a good, learn from Misty. She knew she had this big move coming up. She knew that it could be extremely stressful. She took a look at her finances, and she, was fortunate enough that she could be able to afford to have, two places for a whole month. So she took that luxury of, extending out the moving process so it wasn't so stressful. It wasn't so, oh my gosh, I've got to get this all done at one time. She wasn't, completely overwhelming herself, exhausting herself, so that she could, take this time. So yeah, learn is a good one. She took the time to do this in a way that was good for her. So that was a great luxury. What kind of luxuries are out there? So I think that one luxury that we have right now, and it's so nice, is that we have so many healthy food options. We have stores that are just dedicated to telling us that these are the stores with the healthiest of foods, and a lot of places, they don't have access to all that. We have access to pre-cut up fruits and vegetables. Like, that is such a luxury to have. And if you can afford, they do mark them up. So if you can afford to have them, wow, what a luxury to have that work pre-done for you. There's also like pre-made meals that are, already cooked, pretty good on the whole. Hey, Alan, welcome. Thank you for joining. These pre-made foods that are just, you can heat them up in your microwave. They're pretty healthy for you. They're not too bad. They've got a lot of them now that are like more fresh, and they're not full of all the, the components that keep foods longer, better, all the, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, just excuse my whole, oh, that's a great luxury that we have available today. Virtual exercise, Zoom on demand, all of these free YouTube exercise videos that are out there. Like, just the information alone that is out there, the information and education about healthy living. We have access to so much information through books and online resources and health professionals. And it can just really help us to make, good, informed decisions about, the whole entire process. Preservatives, that's the word. Thank you. My God, you are a dictionary girl. It was a luxury when I gave up my Planet Fitness membership and paid for a whole year at a lifting gym. Yes, that is, another form of a luxury. Like, and sometimes we take these things for granted, that they're just such great luxuries that we have in our life. And we kind of get just caught up in the ho-hum of every single day life. And I always like to have a gratitude practice and be grateful for things. And that's why I think being grateful for the luxuries that we have is so, so important, because it just, it's just important. It's just important. So the technology that we can have in order to help us along on our weight loss journeys, like food scales, all these apps that we have for tracking our calories, tracking our exercises, our, little devices here on our wrist that can track so much information and help us out on our journeys. What a luxury. Can you imagine, like, trying to lose weight in the 1920s whenever, so much of this stuff wasn't available to us? I mean, crazy how, blessed we are to have such amazing luxuries. So, you know, just wanted to kind of, and another one, the time to exercise. Many of us have the ability to, carve out a little bit of time in our busy schedules to exercise, whether it's going to the gym, taking fitness classes, just going on a walk or run outside. I have the luxury of being able to work from home. So if I'm on my lunch break, it's really easy for me to just, do a quick video or go for a walk. So I worked from home. I've told this story a million times, so I'm sorry if I'm boring you. But when I started, I worked from home before the pandemic. It was just one day a week. It was like this big luxury that we were able to have to work from home one day a week. But whenever the pandemic hit, I decided immediately, like day one, that, okay, I don't have a commute to work anymore. And that's an hour of time that I'm gaining back because I had a 30-minute drive one way and a 30 way back. I decided immediately that was going to be time that I was going to spend for, my exercise routine. So it was going to be extra long walks for the dog, doing exercise videos, whatever it was. But I didn't take that for granted. I was like, I'm already up. I'm going to keep to the same schedule and I'm going to apply this, right away. Immediately, I was going to apply that. So it was, some people took it as a luxury to be able to get that extra time sleeping. And I immediately decided that, nope, I wasn't going to do it that way. So think about the luxuries that you have. And remember that not everyone has those luxuries. Not everyone has those. So it's really important that you take full opportunities of those luxuries that you have and to appreciate them for what they are and to really, really, use them the best way that you can. So think about it. Let me know in the comments, come back. Let me know, what kind of luxuries you were out there that you really weren't taking as good of advantage. Oh my God. I didn't even mention the whole like ordering food thing. We can order from all of these different providers, all the, specialty foods if we need like protein powder or collagen or sugar-free things. Like there's all this stuff that we can order. And what a luxury to be able to just Instacart. Like we don't even have to go shopping. We can order deliveries, food to our door. Amazing. These are amazing luxuries that just make it so much easier. So instead of, complaining about how hard weight loss is, why don't we just appreciate the luxuries that we have in our life that make it easy for us? Wow. Just wow. Luxuries. Woohoo. So I'm the captain of Team Shrinkables. They're talking about the steps challenge in the chat. And in March, I was the team captain of Team Shrinkables, and we took first place. And this month, after week 1, we are in last place. So Shrinkables, if you're watching, we need to step it up. Step it up. Okay. So that pretty much ends my wonderful rant on the word luxuries. So the next word that I want to talk about, and what a luxury. What a luxury. Less pain, weight, food consumed, meds, size, all the things. I love the luxury. No, don't we all? Don't we all? Who said my next word that I want to talk about today? I did. Oh, there it is. The next word that I want to talk about today is labels. labels. So if you think that we're going to talk about nutrition labels and how to read them, you're in the wrong place. So a simple Google search is going to help you out with pulling up a nutrition label and how to read it. It will show you, the calories, the serving size. It'll teach you about salt and, all the things. But that's not really my thing here. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to talk more about, the mindset and habits and perspectives. So, what I kind of want to talk about whenever it comes to labels is the labeling of food as good versus bad and healthy versus unhealthy. So, what do you guys kind of think about that? What do you guys think about that? The whole labeling foods as good versus bad and healthy versus unhealthy. I like this comment. I very much dislike labels of almost all kinds. Like labels. We cannot get away from labels. Everything is labeled. Good, bad, healthy, unhealthy. People, we're labeled all kinds of things. Work is labeled all kinds of things. Everything is labeled. You can't get away from labels or labels at all. It's just, even whenever, as much as I try to have a neutral viewpoint on food, it is hard at times to not get into the habit of saying good food or bad food or junk food or healthy food or unhealthy food or all kinds of things. It's just so unbelievably hard to do. But there are reasons why we don't want to label our food, good food versus bad food. For some people, it's just like, it can be like this guilt trip type thing. So if you start labeling your food and then you have a food, then you start to, assign, value or worth to yourself about it, or you just feel bad because you ate something unhealthy. And that can lead to the whole diet cycle where, you restrict something and then you're like, oh my God, I can't do it. And then you break and then you binge and then you feel guilty about it. And then you feel shameful about it. And then you start the whole process all over again. So that's, one reason that, labeling our food good versus bad isn't, necessarily a great idea. But it's also that, like, it's too messy whenever you think about labeling foods, good versus bad, because it's not just, just straight like, yes, that's a good food and no, that's a bad food. So some people look at fruit and they think, that's not a food that I want to, necessarily include very much of on my eating plan for whatever reason. But that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with fruit. It's just that they don't want to eat it for whatever reason. Some people don't want to eat watermelon because it makes them belch. It doesn't make it a bad food. It just doesn't feel good in their body. Same thing, with, different nuts. Are they good? Are they bad? It depends on your perspective. It depends on your thought. It depends on too many things. So it's best if we just kind of like think about, okay, thanks. Food as being kind of like neutral. I like to think, just my favorite word, curiosity. I like to be curious about the foods. And I like to think about, how did it make me feel? Did it, give me aches? Did it give me pains? Did it make me feel fatigued? Did it give me stomach cramps? Did it make me gassy? Did it give me a headache? What kind of, feelings and sensations did I have whenever I ate this food? And then just decide if it's, something that I want to, include more or less. So my husband's lactose intolerant. He doesn't have good results from eating dairy products. It doesn't mean that he doesn't eat the dairy products. It just means that he is a little bit more choosy about how much or when or where he's going to eat the dairy products, because, is it worth it to him to have those feelings, those repercussions of the food? He's just got to listen to your body. Definitely. Don't listen to the diet culture about the different foods. So So be careful on if you are labeling your foods and if you're assigning worth to foods. It's something that you really want to listen to your inner chatter, what your brain is saying. If it's making you feel, shameful, guilty, less than, any of those things, then we really want to sit back and, just kind of remind ourselves that, these foods don't mean anything about me. Food has no morals. It's neither good nor bad, as Misty said. Really, think about these things. And that's pretty much it that I wanted to say on labels. But it is a good idea to learn how to read your nutrition labels. Um, they can be off. They're allowed to be like 20% off, I believe is what the statistic is. There's 20% margin of error on food labels as far as the calorie count goes. But it is a good idea to learn how to read food labels so that you know what a serving size looks like. So you can figure out, the different things that are listed inside of a food, of a particular item. It's a good thing to do, but I'm not here to teach you that. But a simple Google search and you can figure that one out. So that's what I have to say about labels. Did I miss anything, ladies? Did I get it all? And guys. So labels. So learning. Who said learning? Somebody said learning. I love learning. I am learning so much stuff about myself. That's one of the fun things about weight loss, is that you can really learn a lot. But there's, one way that I think that learning can really hinder us in our weight loss. And that is whenever we feel like we have to learn everything before we can get started. And that's not true. You don't need to know everything. There's so much information, and there's always new information coming out. Just get started. Don't worry about learning everything. You can learn as you go. Just take the knowledge that you know, get started, and we can learn more as we go on. We don't have to know everything. And that's the only thing I really wanted to say about learning. I wanted to talk about it whenever we did the letter K, and there was the word knowledge that came up. And it's just so important that so many people sit in inaction because they feel like there's something else they need to learn, when really you can learn it later. Just get started with what you already know. You're going to learn more as it goes on. Like, I have learned so much about myself regarding how I feel about exercise. I've learned more about the foods that I like. I've learned more about what my hunger signals are. I've learned more about sleep and how important sleep is, and learning how, for me, how to get the best sleep. I've learned about my emotions and how to deal with sadness and stress and anger without having to turn to food. But I've all learned that as I go, as I'm losing the weight. I didn't need to learn all that stuff first to get started. And then it just came up and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, what are we going to do about that? Let's learn about that now. But I can continue on. And man, Alan, good job. The best learning comes from failure. So I just did this huge video last week on, I failed this challenge that I signed up for. I signed up for this abs challenge and I failed because the plan that I made was not thought out well enough. I didn't account for my staycation. I didn't think about whenever, I came back from staycation. So I just learned that, I kind of thought that I had a plan, but I didn't have a really good plan. And that's okay. So then, this month, we're doing the squats challenge. And I just built some contingencies into my plan so that it was a solid plan. And so far, 10 days in, I'm nailing the squats challenge. It also doesn't hurt, though, that I really like to do squats. Whereas with the abs challenge, there was exercises I didn't like to do. So it helps that that's part of it. Just saying. Anyway, I hope to never stop learning. Me either. I hope to never start learning. So learning. Water break, water break. Everybody drink water. Oh, what a great word. I didn't even see that a minute ago. Limits. Know your limits. Woohoo. Good one. Okay, so the next word that I want to talk about tonight is lifestyle. So you hear it a lot whenever people talk about losing weight and how much it is a lifestyle change. And for a lot of people, I think that can be, kind of scary and overwhelming. And it can be kind of like uncomfortable. And I think that a lot of times, you're thinking, oh man, I really want to lose weight. And then you're losing weight and you're doing so good and you're, moving along. And then you're like, oh my God, but now whenever I go out with friends, I don't want to have to change this about me. I don't want to have to change that. And it's like, you don't have to change your whole entire personality and who you are. Because I know that we've talked about, identity and how much you've got to change your identity. But you don't have to change all of who you are. You just have to, pick and choose kind of like what you value. Really sit back and think about, what do you really value? And then we're going to, make changes kind of around that. So if you are a person that values, and enjoys eating foods, that are, high in fat or high in sugar or, on that back to the label part and that unhealthy thing, it's just figuring out how can you still enjoy those things and making, policies and rules and, just, policies, rules, procedures for whenever you're going to have those things. So that's, I keep getting distracted. Hey, Tuber Chat, thanks for being here. Thank you so much. So our habits, whenever we're changing our lifestyle, some of those things that we got to change is like our habits. So for me, one of those habits is how I deal with stress is one of those huge things that I'm going to do. But our daily habits and our subconscious are kind of, they're just ingrained in our subconscious minds. It makes it really difficult for us to change them. So it's something that we kind of have to work at. I love the whole habits thing because I just realized, wow, all kind of somehow revolves around the habits that I have. We can have unhealthy habits like eating, here we go, we're going to label food again, junk food, or like sitting for prolonged periods of time, not exercising, not eating at home, making, decisions at restaurants can be a habit. I remember there was a time whenever I went out to eat, and I go to this one restaurant all the time. We go there, and I'm one of those people that, well, not all the time, but at this specific restaurant, I always got the exact same food all the time, years and years and years and years and years. So I went with some friends, and we're sitting there and we're talking and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden it's time to order. And I just ordered the exact same thing that I used to get all the time. Not even thinking. It was just a habit that I had to order that food. Well, new me didn't actually want that food. It just kind of like spewed out of my mouth because over here I'm having a conversation and I'm enjoying myself, blah, blah, blah. Here comes the waitress. What are you having? Oh, I'll have this. Oh, shoot. That's not what I wanted, It was a habit. It's so funny how, these habits, they just become second nature, and breaking them, just requires a little bit extra concentration and effort. And, sometimes those habits will just come and creep back in on you. And we just got to, keep learning new ways to implement those new habits. Our comfort zone. Oh my God, that is so much part of our lifestyle. Our comfort zone is a part of our lifestyle. Those places, behaviors that make us feel safe, secure. And, getting out of that comfort zone can be a little bit hard. So it's good to just start with baby steps. So a lot of people, whenever they want to start, losing weight or whatever, they want to go, all in, and they want to change all of these things. And that can be a lot. And then they get so mad at themselves whenever, they hit a rough spot and they give up or, whatever. But whenever bye, thanks for joining us. It can be so much that it's too, whenever you're making all of these changes all at once, your brain starts to freak out. It does not like all that change all at one time. So we want to slowly get out of our comfort zone, but we want to keep asking ourselves, am I too comfortable? What do I need to do in order to get out of my comfort zone? I think this is true. It doesn't matter if you're on a weight loss journey or not. We all tend to get stuck in our comfort zones, and we should, it's just my personal opinion. You don't have to accept my personal opinion, but I think we should always be pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zone, because that's how we learn, and that's how we grow, and that's how we, really, get to use our humanness to the best humanness that is out there, pushing ourselves. So another thing that, that comes into lifestyle change is our emotional triggers. And this is my biggest category for anything. Like learning how to drink water was pretty easy. Learning how to prepare food at home, pretty easy for me. Emotional triggers is the biggest one for me. Emotional triggers can cause you to overeat, indulge in unhealthy behaviors. Stress, boredom, anxiety, depression. And addressing these emotional triggers that cause that, it's all just, I'm going to go back to that habit word, but we have to change our mindset, and we have to learn new ways into dealing with these triggers. And because they're so subconsciously ingrained into our minds, it might take time in order to figure them out, to learn, to even be aware of them sometimes takes time. So if you're having a hard time, I really want you to not be down on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Just be curious. What happened And what can I do? What was the trigger in this particular instance? And what can I do differently the next time? It's all just a part of learning. Listen to yourself, listen to your brain chatter, listen to it all, learn from it, see what we can do differently, and know that it's going to take time. It's not always something that you can just say, I'm going to do this, and then it's done. It's not always that simple. It's such an oversimplification. Some people just make it look so easy, and for some people, it's a little bit more complicated than all of that. Oh, lifestyle changes to keep things. Oh, yes, please. That's a good comment there. You guys all have such good comments. Thank you guys for participating. Thank you for being here. If I didn't mention it, I love you so much. I appreciate you. Um, Lifestyle changes. Make sure that it's still sustainable. So something that was once that you made a lifestyle change to, and is it still sustainable to you? Is it still, take a look at it. It's not, we can always reevaluate, change our minds, do things differently. We can do that. It's okay. So, definitely lifestyle, changing our lifestyle, but that can be in part, we can always go back to that identity thing too. So, lifestyle, good, fun times. Now, I want to go back to some of these other words. We're just having a good time here. I love this one, leggings. Leggings. I have like one pair of leggings that I really, really like, and I have 5 pair of leggings that I absolutely hate. So I don't wear very many leggings. Just fun fact, I guess. Ooh. Laziness. Laziness. Laziness is definitely going to impact our weight loss, and laziness deserves a whole a whole meeting on its own, or whole video by itself. Laziness, there's so many reasons for laziness, and sometimes we need rest. And I just love this. And we can think about it, and you're like, telling your friends, like, oh man, this Sunday, I was like, I kind of said that wrong. Talking to a friend, oh man, on Sunday, I was just so lazy. It was excellent. And then there's other times that you talk to your friends and you were like, oh man, I was so lazy on Sunday. I just didn't get anything done. It was just, couldn't get motivated. I was like, so lazy can be like this really, really good thing. And lazy can also be like this like terrible thing. And it all depends on the way that you think about it. And sometimes you use the word lazy and it's, it was a positive thing. And sometimes you use the word lazy and it was like a terrible thing. But normally, whenever we are being lazy on the negative spectrum, is a good time to look deep within and think about, what am I avoiding? What am I procrastinating? Am I stuck in inaction because I'm overwhelmed? Like, there's normally some underlying concern going on with that. So really like thinking about what's behind the laziness is important, especially if that like the next day you're going to give yourself a beat down. If you're feeling lazy, I think it's always a good time to get on the phone with an accountability partner, a friend, just let them know, feeling so lazy and blah blah blah, and then you guys can talk it out, and then hopefully you'll be able to find some way to get out. That's why accountability partners are such an amazing thing to have, especially if there's somebody that that you can just like call up at any time. It can be just unbelievably helpful. Unbelievably helpful. So logging and lying to ourselves. I don't know how many people are trackers or not trackers. I think a few people on here are not trackers, but I know that a lot of people that watch the replay are trackers. How many people, lie to themselves in their trackers when you're tracking your calories, when you're tracking your exercise, when you're tracking whatever? How many people lie to themselves? How many people conveniently forget about the handful of chips or the cookie or the whatever? I know that there was a time whenever that was a huge thing. Lying to myself that I would do, and it wasn't doing myself any good. So it took some work for me to be able to track everything that I eat and know that it doesn't mean anything. It is just a record of what I ate. It doesn't, again, I don't want to label myself good or bad or on plan or off plan or out of control or any of those things. It's just a record of the food that I ate. That's all that it is. All that it is a record of my food that I ate so that I can learn from it. There's no judgment. It took some time for me to get there, but I kept redirecting my thoughts and telling myself different because it's helpful to me. It gives me good information. But if I'm lying to myself about it, if I'm not being truthful with myself, then what am I going to get from it? How is that going to help me to learn what I need to learn? How's that going to help me to achieve my goals? There's no judgment. No judgment. And that's like one of the things that I just had to tell myself over and over again. There's just no judgment. For some people, tracking the food is, very important to the way that they lose weight. And if you're going to lie to yourself, well, what good is it going to be? It's not going to do you any good if you're going to lie to yourself. So it's just a record of what I ate. That's kind of what I like about my Fitbit. It tracks everything. I can't lie. If there was just some way that, that it could just calculate everything on its way in, that'd be cool. Wouldn't rely on me at all. That'd be nice. Water break. Okay. I'm so excited for the next word. Nobody guessed it. And I think it's going to take me like 15 minutes to get through this word. So we're going to move on to the next word because I'm so excited about it. It is going to be so much fun. Oh my God, I missed a whole bunch of comments. Ooh, I use technology to reduce the lies. Nothing wrong with being lazy. Lazy is good sometimes. Lazy is neutral. Yes, it's not good or bad. Oh, look at all these wonderful comments. Go overboard with not lying. She's like, I gotta be so precise. That's true. Isn't 100% accurate, even if you don't lie. Nope. They are allowed to be 20% off. There we go. So, got all caught up in the comments. All right. So now we're going to talk about my next word that nobody guessed. And let's see. Let's see if you guys can guess it. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a hint on the next word. And let's hold on. Any guesses on what the word is? Any guesses on what my next word is? No? Did you hear that? I'm wondering if you heard it or if there's some weird setting that I need to do on here for you to be able to hear it. Any guesses? Okay, you guys aren't guessing it, so I don't know if it's working or not. You heard nothing. Okay. You hear that? It might not be coming through. I don't know. I'm guessing it's not coming through. That's a bummer. That is a bummer. So, anyway, the word was laughter. Laughter. So, probably thinking, oh, you did guess it. Yay. Laughter. So, laughter is important. So, why is laughter important? So, stress relief is why laughter is important. It's important to be able to laugh at ourselves. It is just one of those things. So, uh, short term benefits of laughing from the Mayo Clinic is it can stimulate many organs. Laughter enhances your intake of oxygen rich air, stimulates your heart, your lungs, muscles, increases the endorphins that are released by your brain. It can activate and relieve your stress response. A rollicking laugh fires up and then cools down your stress response, and it can increase and then decrease your heart rate and blood pressure. The result is a good, relaxed feeling. Laughter can soothe tension. Laughter can also stimulate circulation, aid muscle relaxation, both of which can help reduce some of the physical symptoms of stress. Long-term effects of laughter. It can improve your immune system. Negative thoughts manifest into chemical reactions that can affect your body by bringing more stress into your system and decreasing your immunity. By contrast, positive thoughts can actually release neuropeptides that help fight stress and potentially more serious illnesses. It can relieve pain. Laughter may ease pain by causing the body to produce its own natural painkillers. Increase personal satisfaction. Laughter can also make it easier to cope with the difficult situations. It also helps you connect with other people. It can improve your mood. Many people experience depression, sometimes due to chronic illness. Laughter can help lessen your stress, depression, and anxiety, and may make you feel happier. It can also improve your self esteem. So, laughter. I thought that we could have some fun today and do a little bit of an exercise. So, what I would like to do today is I want to practice laughing. So, first, good belly laugh works your core. So, what I want to do is to practice laughing. And where'd my clip go? So, I need a little bit of help. So, I tried to just kind of laugh by myself, and it wasn't as excellent as I thought it might be, just trying to laugh without something that kind of like, made me laugh. Um, but I thought that Yeah. So here we go. What we're going to do for this first part of the experiment is we are just going to try and not laugh out loud. We are just going to hold it in. Hold it. No audible laughing. Now try and feel your body constrict. So laughing. Laughing is so much fun. Did you guys laugh? Did you laugh? Okay, now what we're gonna do for just a minute is I've been watching all kinds of this like yoga laughter videos. And the funniest one I think is trying to be like, you did wrong, and laughing at the same time. So so laughter is it's a joy. It can, boost your mood. It can make you feel a little bit better. It just, releases all these endorphins in your body. It makes you feel good. So have a good laugh. Have a good laugh at me. Anytime you want, you can laugh at me. Laughing is good for us. I encourage laughter. And when you have a good laugh, where do you feel it? You feel it, in so many different places in your body. So it's got to be an amazing thing. Like Tia here says, she says that a good belly laugh works your core. So I just want to encourage everyone to have a good laugh. And don't take yourself so seriously whenever, things happen or whatever. Just laugh it out. Laugh it out. Have a good time with it and then learn from whatever it was that went down. Just laugh and learn. Love, laugh, and learn. So that's it. I am going to leave it with that word for tonight with laughter. Let me know if you had a good laugh in the comments below. I was going to tell you guys some jokes, but if you did not know, I have terrible joke delivery. I am not a good joke teller. And so I'm not going to tell you guys any jokes because that would be a little bit embarrassing. So we're going to leave it like that. Let me know in the comments. I'll come back and comment. What was your favorite L word? Was it love? Was it laugh? Was it learn? Listen? All kinds of good words tonight. I thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you taking time out of my day, your day anyway. I will see you guys in the next video. As always, it's going to be an adventure. Bye.